Yes, guys, what is good? Welcome back on the channel. Cagliari 0 into 2. We have a clean sheet. That's my that's the biggest thing I'm happy with today, the clean sheet. But of course, Pio scoring his first ever goal in Serie A and for Inter. In Serie A, of course, he scored for us in the Club World Cup, which is an official game. So it's not his first goal, but his first goal in Serie A. And you saw how much it meant to him, how much it, excited him. And he was waiting for it in the last few matches. He's been close to getting this goal and he finally got it. And the funny thing is, he got it against his brother, Sebastiano, who was on the pitch at the same time, who I'm sure is also happy for him. But yeah, so happy for Pio. Hopefully, this is the first of many for Pio. And of course, the most important thing for us was the 3 points. 3 points to help us climb back up the table and make things a little bit more respectable, right, guys? The table, we've been looking at it. It's not been looking nice. It's not been looking nice in any way or shape. But at least now we're getting there. The overperforming, the teams with the overperformance, the early Cremoneses, the Udineses, the Cagliaris that were up here before this match day is things are starting to align themselves as they should be. And we're there. 2 points behind the Juve team that beat us because they dropped some points. So that's good news that Atalanta managed to take some points away from Juve. Unfortunately, they weren't able to hold on. A bit of a lucky goal, actually, in the end for Cabal. Complete miskick from Atalanta's defender. But anyway, and then tomorrow, of course, we got to wait for the Milan-Napoli game, where, of course, at least one of the two teams will be dropping points. So, yeah, things are looking a little bit better now. But, of course, we knew that this was the run that PIOOOO and Inter needed to do this in with Sassuolo, with Cagliari, next up Cremonese. So 3 more points minimum needed to keep going. But before we get into it, all that, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And let me see who is in the house. Give a shout out to the people that were early in here. Lautaro is back. Salem, yes, he is back to a good level today for sure. Abdu, Mattia Jovic, Brate in the house. Can we call Lautaro Cagliari man now? You know those memes that call him Salernitana man, Crotone man. Cagliari man, I think looks like could be the most accurate name, as Mattia says, because he scored 12 times against them. 12 times. And that's the most that he scored against any team. And now, of course, today he overtook Sandro Mazzola in the all-time list. He's a top 5th all-time top scorer. Yeah, if this guy stays for a few more years, I don't think he's going to get to the Meazza record, but he's definitely going to keep climbing up that ranking, depending on how long he stays and he keeps averaging these kind of 20 goals a season that he has been recently. Yeah, very, very good from Lauti today. And you can tell there's so much difference between Lautaro coming off post-Argentina South America trip and Lautaro when he is fresh, fit, and rested. Ahmad in the house. Kivu coached a great game. If we didn't win, I would have said he was let down by his players, especially Thuram and Barella. Kivu ball is cooking on low heat. Yeah, I think this, in a way, in the way that we defended, suffered as well a little bit, but not too much. And then the first 15, 20 minutes, the way we scored and kept the pressure on Cagliari, I think, yes, of course, that Torino game, but if you take into account both sides of the game, the defensive side of the game as well, I think this was maybe the best performance we've seen under Kivu until now, just in terms of like, okay, this team looks solid. They look like contenders for the Scudetto, potentially, which I'm still not gonna say until that, we're actually like competing for it. But as in, like, we actually look like a team that doesn't really suffer at the back too much, and when we want to go and hurt the other team, we can do it. We control the play, even on the game pitch like this. The pitch wasn't great, this Cagliari. This is why I was scared. I was being a negative Nancy before the game. If you guys watched my preview, I predicted like a 1-1 or a 2-2. I don't know. I just felt like this away Cagliari game, they're going to make it physical. They're going to make it hard. And they did try in the first half and second half. They tried to make it physical, lots of aerial balls, and of course, Yerry Mina. Oh my God, this guy, Yerry Mina. How annoying of a guy is he to play against, to watch your team play against? Oh, such an annoying shithouse guy. And today he was trying to rub up Lautaro and Thuram in the wrong way, as he always does. It's not just against Inter. This guy does it to all teams, especially in the big games. He always hypes himself up, loves a big game or going up against big players, and creates himself like this drama and bit of a persona. I guess he loves being center of attention. Sometimes it works. Today, luckily, it didn't work. And yes, I did enjoy not having squeaky bum time at the end. Although there were some moments, we'll get into some of the screenshots I took. There was a moment where Cagliari hit the post, a couple of headers that I felt like they were a little bit, too easy for the Cagliari players. And they were putting on the pressure after Barella came off and Frattesi came on. We kind of lost control of the game, as we often do over the last few years. But in the end, nothing too much to be worried about. My blood pressure, I think, was in check. Salman says, great game. Have not seen these players so precise in details for a very long time. Yeah, that's what I mean. Overall, very, very nice overall game. I've enjoyed it. Yeah, Forza Inter Tariq. Why can Mickey not score? Yeah, Mkhitaryan has just completely forgot how to score. Very, very disappointing, Matteo. But Mickey had a good game. I was happy with Mickey's game. Harry, yes, it's all about Pio today. All about Pio and Kirby Mafia in the house. Thank you again for your streams in the Uncle Shama Discord channel. He is the GOAT in that Discord server. Yes, I did, Shrikant. I did predict a negative result. But this is the thing. Now I'm probably going to start doing it in all my predictions now, just to, even though I'm not, superstitious or scaramantico, as they say in Italian. Once I start on this roll, I might start doing it now. So my match previews now might still be like, just 1-1, 2-2, 0-0, something like that. I very, very, I'm not sure if I've ever predicted a loss in the match preview, but I might go on the, on this little run. Mickey has the Arna syndrome. Yeah, he's in terms of just in front of goal, seems to forget how to score at the moment. I feel you, Noor. Eduardo, as always, thank you very much for the support and the donation. Call me Nostra Eduardo. I think, yeah, you predicted the exact scoreline. So shout out to you. 2-0 and 2-0 it was. I was one game off for PIO'S first because I wanted PIO to get his first against Sassuolo. That was my prediction, but he didn't get it. If he got it, imagine if he got it with that overhead kick against Sassuolo, man. That would have been the perfect debut or first goal. Kivu showed cojones playing for Josep and Luis Enrique and reaped the benefits. Yeah, Eminem, I know did you message me on Instagram or commented on my Instagram video when I said Kivu had cojones for playing Zomer against Ajax? But you said, no, he would have shown cojones if he played Luis Enrique, which I disagree with because the whole fan base, everyone was clamoring for Zomer. That would have been the easy thing to just put in Josep Martinez. But as I said as well, I said, okay, if he puts him against Ajax, it doesn't really matter anyway. It's against Sassuolo. It's about the Serie A. So yeah, that was where Kivu was made the big decision to put in Josep and Luis Enrique today, because in the predicted lineups, they were all saying that it wasn't going to be Luis Enrique, and wow, that is unreal. Very, very generous, John Jacob. Have I seen you on the channel before? If you have, please let me know where you are tuning in from. That is, I don't even know what to say to that. Fantastic donation that I don't even know what to say. Yeah, please, bro, please. Let me know where you are based, when people do these types of donations, because that recently happened before as well. It's not like before, this was very rare that anything like a donation like this would happen, but I feel like, was it like a few weeks back someone did this as well? And I don't know if it was you again, John Jacob. I feel like I would remember who it was if it was this much, but thank you very much. Thank you very much for the support. Paul Gutierrez, if you're talking about my second channel, which is Instant Football, which is my comps channel where I clip up some performances, yes, I will try to do it because it is the weekend, tomorrow Sunday, so I will have time. But just, now that instant football channel now might take a little bit of a backseat. If you didn't see my match preview, I am not jobless anymore. I'm not jobless anymore. I'm not a Curva Nord member anymore. I have a job, so unfortunately now I was trying to, do more videos on this channel, do some videos trying to get the other channel going, just for I used to post the little comps on Twitter here and there, but I thought, why not post it on YouTube as well, just to help, for the inter community. But yeah, this one tomorrow, if I get time, definitely I'm going to try to get it, and we'll get into how Luis Enrique performed. It was some good, some not that much bad, to be honest, more just like funny. He had some funny little moments, some yeah, we'll get into that in a moment when I pull up the lineups and the ratings. John Jacob, thank you very much. I'm glad to be your English plug for Inter, and yeah, this community is great. Positivity all round. I agree, Bigotelli. Parmeshwar says Bastoni got man of the match. I think, yeah, overall, probably did deserve it. Got a beautiful assist, solid defensively. I wouldn't be surprised if he completed the most passes in the game or something like that as well. Yeah, I don't hate it. I thought Lautaro was as well potential shout for man of the match. He ran his heart out, got a nice goal. Who else? Hakan. I enjoyed Hakan's performance. I enjoyed Akanji. I enjoyed De Vrij. Yeah, I enjoyed quite a few of the performances today. To all the haters, Mickey run the most kilometers out of all the players today. Yeah, today, if you're a Mickey hater, today is not the definitely not the game to be talking about Mkhitaryan. Today, Mkhitaryan had a good game, as Matthias said, ran his heart out, solid in the duels, defensively solid. Should have scored, yes, 100%. Mickey should score. Maybe some final passes should do better. But today's not the game to criticize Mickey. I feel like, yeah, even he deserves potentially a little shout for the man of the match. Oh, it was you, John Jacob. Wow. Okay, that's amazing then, John Jacob. Sorry for forgetting your name. And he is from Arizona. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for these double big ass donations. I really appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you. That's Bepe's burner account with $100 donation money flowing in, being a shareholder. Yeah. Beppe, let me have a piece of that action. Actually, I would rather Beppe not give me any donation than just give me like a 0.1% share in Inter. I'll take 0.2% share in Inter. So I'm part of the board. I'm part of the decision making. I'm in the meetings with Catherine Ralph and Alejandro Cagno and Beppe and Ausilio. I'll take that over being over these donations if it is you, Beppe. And thank you for the people about the congrats on the new job. Luckily, thank God it didn't take too long because obviously these days we got big bills to pay. So there's only so much time my savings would have kept me going, my family going. So yeah, it's nice that situation got sorted. But of course, that means I have less time now for the YouTube channel. But yeah, thank you guys. And yeah, also I might send my condolences to the Indian fans out there who are having to continue, or not just Indian fans, but Serie A fans in Asia, really. The shit show situation keeps on going. But yeah, let's get into today's game. I agree, Black Blue Legacy. Akanji's forward passes today to the forwards were very good. He's just very classy, very calm. Just Rolls Royce defender, as they say. Very, very, just very classy player. It's 4 a.m. in Indonesia. Divani, shouts out to you for doing these night shifts. I have big respect for you because when I was in India watching, or when I was trying to watch Inter in India, I think there was an earlier kickoff that I watched, but the late one, this 7:45 UK time kickoff. I did not watch that. So shouts out to you, which in Indonesia is even later than that. So fair play to you. Any fans once I'm around on match day the game? Yeah, so yeah, this is what Kirby I was talking about earlier with Kirby being the GOAT in the Discord channel. He streams the game within the Discord channel. If you are, especially if you're from Asia or those countries that don't have the rights for Serie A, join the Discord. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to be a channel member or anything. It's always been open, completely open to anyone that wants to join. And Kirby provides a beautiful, high quality stream in there. Hopefully, no authorities are watching this stream and get it taken down. But yeah, if you are not part of the Discord, comment after the stream ends. Comment, and I'll reply to you with the link. I did try to apply to a few jobs. I'll be real, Moby. I did try to apply to a few jobs in in Dubai, but unfortunately, the competition, especially for the roles I go for, marketing, it seemed to be crazy. I didn't even get. I think I got like 1 or 2 replies, but any recruiter I reached out to, any job I applied to, was just like nothing. And I feel like I've got a pretty good CV as well or I thought in Europe I have a good CV, I feel, but it seems like for that part of the world, it seems like, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait a few years and get some more experience. I did try, because I'm not particularly, married to life here in the UK. I'll be real, I grew up in Italy, so weather-wise, food-wise, it's not like I'm loving it out here, but family lives there at the moment, so it is what it is. We'll see in the future. Anyway, let's get into today's game. What I liked, what I disliked. You guys comment down below in terms of the players, the performances that you liked. Let me quickly talk about Cagliari, get it out of the way. There was a comment here about, Phoenix Knox Pio showing why he's better than Seba. I mean, I think that's pretty clear to see. I think since the club woke up, we know this guy's the real deal. I liked what I saw at Spezia in Serie B, but I never watched full Serie B games, and sometimes highlights can be misleading. But yeah, Pio, since I watched him in that first Club World Cup game, I've said this is the best Inter prospect since Mario Balotelli from Inter's Primavera, easily. Seba is probably you saw even today, he's a very technically gifted boy, technically superior to Pio, but like in actual, as a top level football, what you need right now, Pio physically, goal scoring, and how useful he is to a team is way, way clearer than his brother Seba. And yeah, he is really the best talent we've had in so long, and that's why I said in my preview as well, I've seen how the media is starting to talk about Pio recently, the pressure that he's starting to get. We need to protect this boy. We need to protect him. If he misses a few chances here and there, guys, let's not throw him to the gallows. Let's not throw him to the wolves. Let's back this boy, even if he goes through some tough periods. But at the moment, he's not. 2 back-to-back good performances, in my opinion. Ajax won really good. Sassuolo won decent today. Great substitute impact. Of course, he's very, very clear of his brother. Finding Stefan de Vrij, interesting. Palm says, so far so good. Let's see what we can do this. Yeah, I'm enjoying him. He does. I feel like de Vrij at the moment is giving me more peace or more calmness at the back compared to Acerbi at the moment, and I think he deserves to be the starter at the moment, in my opinion, over Acerbi. It's always been very, very minimal between the two. I've always been Acerbi over de Vrij if it's a big game or it's a final or something. But in general, we know, I think de Vrij is slightly more superior for sure in his passing and his technique, but Acerbi, if he's got to man mark someone, if he's got to follow someone around the pitch or just nick the ball away from them and control the defense and be, marshalling the defense, then it's Acerbi. but it's very very minimal. But now with the Cherby's age and the Cherby's issues, and of course natural decline, I feel like this might be the year that De Vrij can maybe become finally the starter over Cherby. And today, yeah, was another solid showing from him. Not really too much, of a duel really for him. Belotti was there until the 44th minute, but this is a Belotti who's, he's really, I know he scored 2 goals in the last game, but this is a finished Belotti. And Seba is never really around to be, he's roaming around, not really being there. And then after Belotti came off, they were basically playing with no striker really. It was full of Runcho and Seba Esposito, which is basically like playing with 2 false 9s. So in terms of that, he didn't have, a headache evening, but whatever he had to deal with, he was very, very solid in. And yeah, I love it. Best Eminem. If you look at the first half, this was the stats at halftime after Lautaro scored 1-0 up. 0 shots from Cagliari, 36% possession for them, 64 for us, 7 shots for us, 2 big chances. We completely dominated and controlled that first half. It was just a shame that it was just 1 goal, but that's what I like to see. And this is what things look like now at the end of this game. Only a 0.19 xG created by Cagliari. Yes, they hit the post, but Inter created 2.7 xG. 20 shots, 5 of them on target. Cagliari 6 shots, but only 0 on target. And 1 big chance missed, which is what would it be the post one? I mean, if this was a big chance, then it should look at it's only been given a 0. Yeah, I don't see how some of these things sometimes work. It was given as 0.09 xG, but then this counts as a big chance missed. Shouldn't if it's a big chance, shouldn't they have a much more of a higher xG? But yeah, I guess the probability is different how it's calculated. But yeah, this is what I liked. Same as Eminem. This is why it's one of my favorite performances. Yes, Torino won 5-0, dropping everything, but in terms of how tricky and hard this Cagliari can make your life, I liked how we didn't suffer a lot. And yes, Hakan, what's that now? 3 back-to-back good performances, we can say. I mean, the Juve one is still up for debate, I guess, but you can't deny the 2 amazing goals he scored. So I'm going to count that anyway. Juve, Ajax, Sassuolo, and now Cagliari. Or even if you don't want to count the Juve one, this guy is returning back to form. I think he gets to 5 games, and then we can say he's officially back. After that, he's officially back. Hakan, he puts 5 games. And what it is with Hakan as well is it's the little things. You see, even in the first half, yes, maybe he gives away a foul, but over exuberance of a little bit too much. He was going in on a header with Belotti, but yes, he lent in with his elbow maybe a little bit. But the way he goes in, there's just a little bit more zip with Hakan off the ball. He's trying to intercept passes with slide tackle, even though he might not get to it like this. I can just tell, you can just see visually off the ball, there's more of a zip about him. He looks sharper, he looks fitter. And that's what we missed with Hakan, especially last season and at the beginning of this season. It looked like he was still missing a beat. But now he looks like he's back to being the Hakan from the Scudetto winning season, or almost to that level. And he hit the post as well today with a lovely curling effort. Yeah, in terms of stats, he's looking good. Look at that. 12 recoveries, guys. 12 recoveries. Fantastic work off the ball. 2 tackles, 1 clearance, 1 interception, 4 out of 8 ground duels, 1 out of 2 aerial duels. Yeah, Hakan is coming back to his level. And that is big, big news. Big, big news. As I said, 1 or 2 more games at this level with this type of performance, and I'm calling it. Hakan is back. What else? Cagliari still booing Barella. Nick Snock says, yeah, I mean, I don't really get it after all these years. He talked about it in this interview he did. Was it a year ago? He did this kind of nice podcast interview thing with like an hour-long one where he talked about it, that it was some sort of misunderstanding that he didn't go to Gigi Riva's funeral, who is a Cagliari legend, and him being, Cagliari through and through or something. He was expected to be there, but he decided that he didn't want to go there. Like, that was his decision, that he didn't want to be there. And for some reason, Cagliari fans still boo him for that. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Thank you, Mattia, for reminding people. Gaming Zone isn't satisfied because we missed many chances. Yeah, in that sense, I agree with you. It wasn't the finishing wasn't quite there. Thuram had one where he kind of DiMarco whipped it in and he got his studs on it. Maybe could have done better there. And there was another Thuram one where he kind of shot it straight at Caprile. But apart from that, I don't think we missed too many big chances, really, Gaming Zone. But visually, if you look at it visually, it definitely wasn't a great performance, in terms of on the eye. And that's because how Cagliari make you play. But in general, these are the types of performances I like. Like, this is how Milan are playing. Like, this is how Milan played against Udinese and 1-3-0. Like, you don't have to be looking too good. These are kind of those champion, when you win these types of games, these are those games where you say, like, yeah, this team, has got that mentality where you don't have to play champagne football for 90 minutes, but they know how to get the job done. And yeah, Cagliari definitely are on the bad side. And Pizzacane, he is intriguing coach. Yeah, he's not doing too bad at the moment. Very, very interesting what he's doing there. With they didn't have a great mercato at all. Andy Juve, yeah, I mean, you guys know it's you guys know, I liked when we signed him. I kind of liked the profile, but I didn't think we needed him. That's the issue. Like, where is he gonna play? Like, we can't just force him on just because we want to see him play. We signed him and we want to give him a chance. Like, there's no need for Andy Juve in these games. Who is he going to start ahead of? I think if Andy Juve played today, it would be the big question would be Zielinski. Like, at the moment, he's definitely ranked lowest in he's the Aslani at the moment in this Inter team. But actually, no. Actually, no, he's not the Aslani in this Inter team, because Aslani was the first replacement usually for when Hakan went off. He is Klaassen. He is Klaassen at the moment. He is that seventh midfielder, right? Because we've got 7 midfielders, so there's so many midfielders in there. Wait 1 second. Zielinski, Sucic, Juve, that's 3. Fratesi 4. Mkhitaryan 5. Hakan 6. Barella 7. Yeah. So he's the Klaassen. Just too many midfielders. I think that's a signing that is the signing that at the moment is looking a little bit. Kiev was not rotating a lot in defense. We haven't seen Bisek even since that Udinese loss. I like that Mr. Focusing. Yeah, 100%. Akanji hasn't missed the beat pretty much since the Juve game. Since he's come in, he's been getting better and better. He's rotating De Vrij and Acerbi, but now he's played De Vrij back to back twice. He rotated Augusto at the back, so there is a bit of rotation. I think Akanji is the one. Yeah, seems like Akanji is the one that Kivu is really, really liking, and that's the signing that he needed, that he wanted. At least that's the only one signing that Kivu got that he wanted. We can say confidently now. But this side, yeah, we know that we can rotate a little bit. But yeah, I'm sure Bisek will get his opportunities. Even at left centre back, I wouldn't mind Bisek playing there because we know he likes to play there. But yeah, I like that Kivu is keeping a tight ship at the back. But there is rotation, though, to be fair. John Jaybook says, happy with Luis today. Not too many poor performances. Wish we saw Juve. Yeah, again, I understand the fan base in terms of wanting to see Juve. We want to see him since those 10 minutes he had debut cameo where he came up and stinked it up against Torino. We haven't seen the boy. But there is no reason for Kivu to use this guy if you're holding on to a lead. that's not the guy to really bring on. But maybe in the Champions League, the next one, we've got some easier games coming up. Also Cremonese maybe. But to be honest, guys, yeah, I'm not expecting too many minutes and starts from Andy Diouf this season. Acerbi has been a beast since joining Maforji. Age has caught up to him. Yeah. But again, I don't think it's similar to the Sucic and Mkhitaryan. Like, just because Sucic is younger doesn't mean Mkhitaryan is out of the picture. I would have liked to see Sucic start today just to give Sucic that continuity, that consistency to play back-to-back games. But it's close for me. It's close. It should be Sucic, like it should be maybe now De Vrij over Acerbi, but for me it's pretty close. It's not night and day. That's my opinion. Cagliari's ass. We always beat them when Lauti's playing. Yeah, he is Mr. Cagliari or Cagliari man, as Mattia said. Getting back to the game, here it is, the 1-0 goal. Bastoni to Lautaro. It was a good build-up on the left-hand side. Barella passes it into the path of Bastoni, who lifts a perfect cross to the far post into Lautaro to make it 1-0. And the Cagliari man makes a 1-0 in a very comfortable fashion. Poor defending here by Cagliari. How can you leave Lautaro to have a header at the back post like that? This is where we could have gone 2-0 up. So yeah, apart from that Lautaro goal, after that, there was a few opportunities here and there, but there wasn't anything clear cut. This was the best opportunity since then. Cut back to Hakan, who guides it into the corner. Unfortunately, hit the post. This deserved the goal. And then here, Thuram should have definitely done better here. He burns past Yeremina, and then kind of shoots it kind of very central, straight at Elia Caprile, or above Elia Caprile. Could have done a little bit better there, I think, Thuram. And then here is the one moment where we definitely our blood pressure started to raise more than it should have, because Foloruncio hit the crossbar from a header. Looks like it was PIO'S positive. Well, technically now the thing is, Inter are playing zonally. They mark zonally off corners and set pieces. And I feel like we're still not super confident with this zonal marking. So here, PIO'S positive lets Foloruncio have a free header, which he hits the post with, but luckily it hit the post. Otherwise, this could have been a very different game, because this was still 1-1, guys. Imagine if this went in. We're talking about our match reaction, my match reaction. Could have been completely different if this went in. And then here there was the other, and again, it's not really a big opportunity here. It almost went in. Frattesi does really well to somehow guide this. Look where he is, to somehow guide it towards goal. I'm not even sure if it was going in or maybe hitting the post or going just wide, but it looked like it was trickling in and it was cleared off the line. Frattesi with his usual impact in the box of the opponent's team. And here we are with PIO'S goal. Very, very well deserved goal. Di Marco. By the way, Di Marco had another guy that few more performances like this, we can start saying Di Marco is back as well. Di Marco with a good substitute appearance, gets a lovely ball into PIO at the far post as well. So 2 far post goals for Inter, and PIO has the easy job of tapping it in on the volley. And then this was the big one that definitely Inter should have scored and made it 3-0. Mkhitaryan, after the good game that he had. And lovely the way that he did it. I don't know if he nutmegged the guy to get past him or he just kind of hit the ball past him on the side, but whatever it was, he was 1v1 against the goalkeeper. And for a guy of I talk about this so many times, this guy for Dortmund, he used to put up 10 goals and 10 assists. Like, he put up like 20 plus GA a season. Even for Roma, this guy was putting up 15 plus GA. This guy knows how to have end product to score. But now when he gets in front of goal, for some reason, he always smashes it. He had a few shots this game. I think he had like If I check his stats, I think he had 3 shots and none of them on target. Completed the most dribbles in this game. Look at that. Mickey completed the most dribbles in this game. Yeah, this was the one that he missed. There was one where he hit at Barella. He shot the shot at Barella. And then this one went to the Rosed. But yeah, Mickey deserved the goal today. I feel like it would have been a nice top off his his performance today. But he should have scored 100%. And there is, of course, PIO'S celebration. The question now is how much rotation will be done for Slavia and Cremonese? Definitely Slavia, full rotation. I want to see heavy rotation for the Slavia game. I want to see, definitely one of the midfielders, at least one midfielder be rested, whether that's Hakan, who maybe needs a rest, or Barella. And definitely that is the place that I want to see. Maybe Luis Enrique continue even, or maybe Akanji get some rest finally. Definitely that is the game to see some rotation and maybe see Zielinski starting or Sucic starting or Bisek starting. Definitely that is the game. But then Cremonese, I want to see Cremonese back to being, this type of lineup, heavy, full starting 11, what you would call, because this season, Serie A for me is the focus. Serie A. And especially until we play the big teams in when we play the big teams like Liverpool, Dortmund, etc. That we have the first 4 Champions League games, easier teams, full rotation. I want to see full rotation in those. Then afterwards, in the bigger games, yes, we might have to start being more strategic about the rotation. But at the moment, even against Cremonese, I want to see a strong lineup back in Serie A. Jitin, apart from that chance, we did well in defense. And we need to be able to win the 1-0s, which is what we missed last season, 100%. This is why I'm saying, this is why I like this performance so much. So let's get into Luis Enrique. I liked his performance in general, but you could tell that he was maybe a little bit, nervous at the beginning. So Luis Enrique had a throw in, I think it was the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And he gets the ball and he's about to do the motion to throw, and the ball just, as he's doing it, the ball slips out of his hand. I don't know if maybe it rained there or the pitch was wet. And you even saw Kivo afterwards have a little smirk on his face after he did that. And then there were a couple moments where, Cagliari, there was one moment where Cagliari floated the ball towards him, and he was just watching it, and he just decided not to do anything with it, not head it, not try to control it. He just let it bounce, and they went to the Cagliari player. So there was a couple of these moments where you were like, and I saw people already posting the Dalbert images, the Dalbert memes, always a new Dalbert. But apart from that, actually, I feel like he had a pretty decent game, Luis Enrique. Some nice passes, some nice combinations on the right-hand side. I feel like his teammates don't really trust him yet, which I don't blame them too much. I feel like there was lots of opportunities. They could have looked for him or passed to him, but they didn't. Still ended up having, 25 passes completed. So I think in general, 43 touches, this is about as much as Dumfries usually, I think, averages. So in the 72 minutes, he did get involved, but I feel like, the teammates or he himself, he doesn't seem like he's too much, wanting the ball or demanding the ball. So he still needs to get into the team. Didn't complete any dribbles today. 2 out of 5 accurate long balls, 6 recoveries, 1 interception, 1 headed clearance, 1 tackle. Didn't get dribble past at least 1 out of 2 ground duels. So I think he's definitely still needs to do some work on his defensive side of the game, not like defending in terms of like 1v1 or stuff like that, but just like knowing what to do in certain situations. It's hard to like explain, but when you watch Luis Enrique, you can tell that he's not very comfortable with what he's doing. Like he got converted into a wing back last season, so he's still, you could say, new to the role. Like sometimes he makes a pass where Dumfries isn't going to make that pass in a good way, but also in a bad way. Like sometimes he had a very couple of close calls where the Cagliari player almost intercepted it, or he just does like weird decisions sometimes, but nothing like concerning. Just you can tell that he's not fully like converted into a wing back yet mentally. But yeah, definitely confidence, more consistency, more time will get him better, which is why I always say, with Sucic now, Luis Enrique as well, like play them, back to back, give them 2 or 3 games at least consistently, and let them learn and let them, bed into the team properly. Why was Thuram and Martinez showing concern with Mina when he goes in so rough on them and doesn't care one little bit? Yeah, that guy, I mean, yeah, he's just an absolute shithouse, man. What an annoying player to play against. When he gets fouled, he makes the absolute most of it and he's like rolling around on the floor. But this guy, when he's off the ball, he's shoving like Thuram. The ball's gone. It's been gone for like 2 or 3 seconds, and he still shoves Thuram. With Lautaro as well, you could tell Lautaro and him, obviously Spanish speaking, they're having a go at each other. Yeah, we did well in the end. We managed to get the better of him. Definitely. Obviously, he's got that kind of new player fear in him that he doesn't want to make a mistake, but then that can sometimes make you make a mistake. But the more that we do this, Kyle, I know what you mean. Like, today you weren't confident that this Inter team can hold on to like a 1-0 lead or just end with a clean sheet. I do agree with that. But the more you have types of games like this, then the players will start being more confident and just be able to take these games over the line. And us as fans will also start being a little bit more confident. Just because we had such a bad start to the season defensively, we literally have the second worst defense in the league, joint worst second with Torino. Lecce have the worst. So it's not been a good start to the season defensively. So of course we're still not very confident with these guys defensively. But the more we play like this, the more that I think we'll get better. And definitely Bisek and Luis Enrique can't be playing together. It has to be, if it's going to be Luis Enrique, you have to put Barella next to him and Akanji next to him for sure. And if it's Bisek, it's one of those, definitely Dumfries or Darmian, maybe even next to him, just to, help him, guide him, keep help support him. Who else? Augusto took a bit of a step back from his man of the match performance from the last game. He got subbed off at half time. So Kiev subbed off Augusto and Barella, the 2 yellow carded guys. So we saw a little bit of Simone Inzaghi return today in Kiev with this yellow card substitution. But with Augusto, I think he was just annoyed. It was such a silly yellow card that Augusto got. The ball went out for a throw-in for Cagliari, and it was already coming back onto the pitch. So there was no need for him to touch that ball because it was already coming back onto the pitch. So, I think maybe Kivu was so annoyed at such a silly yellow card that he subbed him off. But in general, he didn't look as good as he did against Sassuolo when he was playing as the left centre-back of the 3. And I've always said it, Bobby Miley. I always prefer him. I think I prefer Augusto as a left centre-back, to be honest, because I feel like he's a dog when he's defending. He's quite good defensively, good in the air, good 1v1. And then he also manages to get forward very well, like you saw last match, when he has more space to run into when he's coming from deeper. He's also still good as a left wing back for sure. But actually, I think in this Inter team, I think his best position actually is as a left centre back. But of course, he's not going to overtake Bastoni there. But a little bit of a step back from Augusto today. Let me quickly run over. Mkhitaryan, decent overall. 3 out of 4 successful dribble, 8 passes into final third. Good performance from Mickey, as I said. Barella, as usual, as I keep saying, up and down. Some good moments. He even tried to overhead kick today that didn't come off. But still not looking like, the best Barella version that we know he can be. But good enough to be still, of course, an important player and we saw that, you know, we lost control of the match once he came off. Yeah, as I said, DiMarco's cameo was great. 45 minutes, good pass accuracy, 3 chances created, got the assist. Yeah, I'm liking DiMarco's form at the moment. Frattesi, he was good on the ball, as you can see. He completed 6 out of 7, almost scored as well with that shot. But there was a moment, so I actually bookmarked it because I heard it. I was watching the Italian stream on the Zone. I bookmarked it because my friend Giulio Di Censo tweeted it. So the pitch side reporter said Kivu is annoyed with Frattesi. And he said, like, he told someone, tell Frattesi that he has to work as a mezzala because he pushes too far forward. Like, remember how much we've talked about this, especially under Inzaghi, where you would look at, let me see actually on the sofa score if you can pull up the average positions. Like, when you look at the average position of Frattesi when he would start, it would be like we were playing a 3-4-2-1. He would be like so high up in the why is it showing the last season's Serie A? What the hell? Yeah, Frattesi, and I've talked about it so much. The way that he makes himself available or doesn't make himself available when we have the ball, like his movement, his IQ off the ball just isn't good. So actually, yeah, here his average position is actually pretty good. Maybe this was after he got told off by Kivu. Yeah, let's see what Inter's average. Yeah, you can see Barella was very high today. Actually, he was doing. This is what I thought Frattesi's position was going to look like. But that is basically this is Inzaghi's Inter. Like, if you took a screenshot of Inzaghi's Inter average position map, this is it. Mkhitaryan slightly tucked in more next to Hakan, slight right bias, with Barella and Hakan a little bit closer, and Lautaro slightly deeper than Thuram. This is Inzaghi's Inter. Like, this Kivu Inter has got some aspects that, you know, we saw with Kivu. He likes it to be a little bit more vertical, try to be a bit more quicker, less sideways. But apart from that, this at the moment is looking like Inzaghi's Inter in many aspects. But today, for sure, in the good aspects. But this is the thing, we know this Inter team is strong. I know we were all annoyed about Inter's transfer window, not really moving the needle too much. The starting 11 is the same, all of that, but it still remains a strong starting 11. So this is why, even though Kivu is a rookie, Kivu is an unknown, we don't know what he's going to do. We've had a bad start to the season. Regardless of all of that, I said since the start of the season, we have to be competing for the Scudetto. Whether we do it or not, that will be to be seen. But this Inter team has to compete. Whoever the coach is, it has to compete. It's just at this level in this Serie A, it's a very, very good team still. Very, very good team. And of course, we should be making mincemeat of teams like Cagliari. What else? Dumfries came on, didn't get involved too much. Boni came on right at the end to give Lautaro a rest. Let's have a look at Lautaro's stats, actually, who, as I said, I think he had a good game. Even maybe he could have been man of the match. Was busy pressing Cagliari. 11 out of 6 ground duels, 3 out of 2 aerial duels, lost possession 12 times. But yeah, he was leading from the front in terms of his pressing and the harrying that he was doing. I like this game. No big chances missed. I think Sofa Score has voted down Thuram here because they must have counted his one of those chances that he missed as a big chance, maybe. Yeah, big chance, missed one. So they've kind of voted him down. But I thought he was pretty decent today, Thuram, in his hold-up play. Definitely should have done better on that shot when he went past Mina. Maybe he could have got more on that ball that DiMarco whipped in. But I definitely didn't think it was a 5.9 type of performance. I think it was a 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 performance. And Jose Martinez had nothing to do. I don't think he had did he even have one save to make today? No, not one save to make today. So can't really comment too much on Jose Martinez today. His passing at the moment, though, I must say, when we signed him, he was supposed to be, in theory, better than even Zoma on the ball. Like, Barcelona school of football, La Masia. But we haven't really seen it, to be honest. At the moment, he looks more like a traditional keeper than Zoma, which is funny. When we signed Zoma, I thought Zoma was going to be more of a traditional keeper than Onana. But Zoma actually ended up being very, very solid on the ball. Very modern, actually, Zoma. And with Jose Martinez, I was expecting someone that maybe could be not as good as the shock stopping side of things, but better on the ball. But actually, he seems to be the more traditional keeper, bigger, taller, seems to have better shot stopping ability, in my opinion, at the moment compared to this Zoma. But on the ball, he's not really. I don't really remember much of like a like a nice ping or a really good pass from Jose Martinez. Again, maybe he needs some consistency and time to just build his confidence on the ball as well. Yeah, basically, yeah. Actually, authentic talk. I remember you saying something about some hot takes. Let me see some hot takes. Lautaro's yet to show Icardi level. Yeah, that's no hot take. I think even the biggest Icardi hater would agree with you. I think 99% of the fan base would agree with you that Lautaro doesn't have that killer level instinct. He just doesn't have it. Pare is becoming stale with no change of rhythm or pulling defenders like the Fratelli does. Yeah, again, that's no hot take either. I think a lot of the fan base and even usually Barella is that player that brings, even if you're an Inter hater, you're a Juve or a Milan fan, usually everyone appreciates Barella when he plays for the national team. Well, not so much for the national team, actually, because he never really hits great heights for the national team. But usually he's recognized as like Italy's best player, Serie A's best midfielder. But over the last season or so, yeah, even rival fans are saying like, this Barella guy. And Inter fans are like, yeah, we love Barella. He's probably our best player still. If you ask me, I still probably think Barella's our best player ahead of Lauti and Bastoni. I like a player like Barella more than those types of players. But do we really see it that regularly? Not really, to be honest. Yeah, that's why Thiago Motta got fired, Bobby Miley. They should have been challenging for the Scudetto, and they were at the beginning, and then they just fell off completely, which was embarrassing how we lost to them as well. But yeah, so if we're not challenging for the Scudetto, we're looking like we're going to struggle to get top 4, then Kivu will have to go, unfortunately, because that's the level of this team. It should be almost in like sleepwalking or just by muscle memory alone. This team, especially, this is why Kivu has been smart now, doing what I think he's stepping back from trying to implement anything new or too different. 3-5-2, try to solidify the defense if we can. Of course, add a few little tweaks of his own. Akanji in there is a bit different. A few more options off the bench. But in this area, this is a strong Inter team. It remains. He shoots the ball forward less than Zoma. He passes short a lot, which is good. Yeah, maybe. I mean, today he did try. It says here 12 long balls and only 4 of them accurate. But that's what I mean. Like, yeah, Zoma is confident to try to ping some balls to the striker. So I think he needs to get that confidence to start pinging some balls that I'm sure he can. What's up, Language Tours? I moved to Florida and keep missing games now. Whoa, congrats to you. You were based in Latvia if I remember correctly. But congrats on the move. And yeah, you're missing him. Now that Aslani's gone, Language Tours used to be Aslani's biggest hater, and he's not catching the games now. That's crazy, man. All jokes aside. Yeah. This one, yeah, he is not the most entertaining on games to catch up on if you get the chance, but worth, just seeing. Definitely watch if you can get some extended highlights. I don't think you'd miss too much in terms of entertainment. Fun fact from Siavush, shouts out to him. All strikers have an open play goal now. That's nice. Yeah, that's true. Boni on the first one, obviously Lautaro Thuram, and PIOOOO now. So that's good. We've had to wait till match day. What match day is this? Match day 5 to see that. I wonder what it was for last year. I mean, with Taremi, we never actually even got it in Serie A. So Arnautovic was like in better form last season, but that was towards like the second half of the season, wasn't it? And Correa was until like Hellas Verona. So yeah, they're already the strikers, the 4 strikers, like I think we all expected, are outperforming last season strikers. So there's the upgrade already. I even bought Barella jersey for this season. No, of course, he's not taking that much of a step back that you should regret buying a Barella jersey. We're just saying, that's the thing. The standards for players like Barella, Bastoni, Lautaro, Thuram, like the standards are really high. So as soon as you're like here and you're here for a while, that's when the conversation starts to happen. But it's not like he's down here. It's just, that lack of real top level performances that we know he can have for Inter and Italy. Oh, Debbie Kerr in the house has made it. Thank you very much, Debbie. Hope you are well. Ian was telling me, so congrats on you guys for the house move. You got a new house, moving house, and Ian's busy doing the decoration, the renovation and stuff. So congrats to you guys. Hope the new house brings you guys some joy and some new Inter memories. Yeah, definitely no Lautaro hate today. I mean, he had a fine game. Can we get a under 23 video at some point this season? El Pieri should be sent there in December. I have been watching the highlights. I've not been watching the actual games, but I think I will try to catch a game if I can this season. They have made a good start to the season. Maybe, yeah. I will try maybe like an under 23 update just to let you know how things are going, which players have been performing well. Stats wise, I can't make a comment in terms of actually watching, but yeah, good idea, Bobby Marley. I'll try to do that. But yeah, also looks like SofaScore also gave man of the match to Bastoni. Do you guys agree? Yeah, let's finish up with man of the match. Do you agree with SofaScore? Mob actually gave it to Lautaro. But the official Serie A man of the match was given to Bastoni. Who was your man of the match? I actually would give it to Lautaro. I liked his garra today, his kind of grinta and leading from the front. Yeah, Hazem, yeah, these are the types of performances. I need more of these, but definitely these are the types of performances that will give me more confidence going forward in Serie A. And yeah, Champions League, I'm not too fussed about this year. I'll be honest, I'm not really concerned about that. But yeah, the way that we played against Ajax and we play like this in Europe as well, we can continue as we have done in the last few years. Matteo says Bastoni or Hakan. Yeah, Hakan's a good shout. I liked Hakan's performance. Lautaro for the haters. Buster was a rock in the back today. Most conceded, but also most scored. Yeah, and I've seen people complaining about us being, a lot of crosses, a lot of set pieces, but we are top scorers in the league, so clearly what we're doing is working. I understand, of course, sometimes we saw it against Juve or we saw it in against Udinese. Sometimes we need something different, which we don't have off the bench because we bloody sold Zalewski, which still annoys me. But it's a tall Inter team. We've got 4 tall strikers. We're all good in the air. Well, I don't know about Boni yet, how good is he in the air, but 4 big strikers. I know Lautaro isn't big, but he's amazing in the air for his size. We play with wing backs, so we have width. And if teams are going to sit back, that is the way that we're going to have to attack with. So yeah, as we have been since we have this 3-5-2, but we also were. Remember when we had wingers, when we had Candreva, Perisic, Politano, Keita Balde in the 4-2-3-1 and the Spalletti, we still were cross and inshallah. So we are doomed to be a cross and inshallah team until the end, guys. Until the end. Yeah, maybe sometimes actually, yeah, we should cross the ball more. Yeah, we've talked about it, Elman. We probably this may be the season that De Vrij maybe has a slight edge on the Cherby finally and deserves to be the starters. But yeah, let's quickly talk about the fixture tomorrow. Who would I want to win or lose? Yes, as Matthias says, we don't want ace. Like, that's the thing. Milan have this. You might poo-poo them now, but I know once it gets to like later on in the season, everyone's going to say, oh, but Milan only had one game a season or one game a week like Napoli. So you might not like the squad. You might not like Allegri. But that's the thing. Same thing with Allegri, Conte. With Allegri, not so much as Conte. With Conte, we knew one game a week. That guy is a monster. Physically, he's going to, defensively, he's going to get that team in shape. With Allegri, there's some guarantees as well. The guy is going to get this Milan team in shape defensively. They lost the first game of the season, yes. Those are the only 2 goals they conceded, right? And since then, they haven't conceded one. So somehow he's getting a defense of Pavlovic, Gabbia, Tomori, etc. Really solid. So he's done that already. And somehow he's going to grind his way to wins. The last game, he actually didn't even grind, 3-0. So we can't let this Milan team get in front with one game a week. So yeah, the draw is the perfect result. Draw is the perfect result. Yeah, you can't let Allegri, Conte build a lead and sniff first place. Like, those guys will just kill it. I mean, I know we used to say that about Conte last season, he didn't, but again, look at the team Conte did that with. They sold Kvara in the middle of the season as well. Lukaku that isn't the peak Lukaku anywhere near that. Juan Jesus started for most of the season. Rahmani, Mazzocchi, Meret. Like, this season they've upgraded on that. They've bought a lot of players, which funnily somehow he was still complaining about. Oh yeah, we spent 150 million, but if you average it out, we signed 8-9 players, and it's like that's 15-20 million per player, bro. Who else spends that much amount of money in Serie A? Still finds a way to somehow complain about it. And yeah, definitely can't get Milan getting a second star is my honestly, I'm absolutely fine if Napoli, if you ask me, would you rather Napoli win Scudetto or Milan or Juve? Definitely I take Napoli. I don't even mind them going on a little dynasty or little legacy run, because they've only got 4 Scudetti. It's fine. You can get a few more. Juve getting more and more, getting into the late 30s, even getting into 40 Scudetto territory. No. Milan getting to 20. No. Of course, I don't want Napoli to win. But I'm saying Napoli they're starting to become rivals as well, of course, now, because we're competing on Scudetti with them. But I'm never going to lose too much sleep over Napoli Scudetto over these 2 bastards, of course. But yeah, it is. I think it's away as well for. I think it's Milan at home, away for Napoli. So yeah, I think it will be a draw. I reckon both Conte and Allegri will be kind of, very tactical chess match. Both teams not too pushing too much. I see a 1-1. I wouldn't even be shocked if it's a 0-0, to be honest, a 0-0 ball draw. But yeah, I see a 1-1, to be honest, and I would be happy. I think that would be a good result. Basically, Inter would have made up 2 points on those 2. So yeah, I don't mind that. Worst case scenario, Milan win as well. At least Napoli don't go clear. I think my wish list would be definitely draw number one. But if there's a team to win, Milan to win, just because at least they go level points with Napoli, so they don't go like clear, and Napoli don't go clear, because if Napoli win, then they go 4 points clear, and then it's long day when Conte gets there, bro. Then it's long day. 4 points clear. This guy's just gonna sleepwalk his way through to another Scudetto, back-to-back Scudetto. So that is me for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that reaction. I enjoyed the interaction with you guys as always. And once again, thank you very, very much to John Jacob for an absolutely ridiculous donation once again. I really, really appreciate it, brother. Yeah. Reach out to me via Instagram, bro, because I really appreciate the support. Just to, initiate conversation. I just want to thank you. But of course, I also want to thank Eduardo, who also made his donation as well. And he always makes his donation, Eduardo, pretty much. So I really appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep a lookout for, of course, the upcoming fixtures for Inter. Let me actually just get them up on screen for you, so we are all on the same page and the plans on the channel. So, okay, Inter playing on Tuesday, so I'm going to have to make the preview on Monday. So Monday, match preview for Slavia Praha, and then post-match reaction as well. And then we play Saturday. So I'm going to have to do my preview on Friday, and of course, post-match reaction actually, might be away that weekend, but definitely preview. And then our difficulty starts in Serie A, difficult patch. So need to definitely get 3 points out of Cremonese. Then it's Roma away and Napoli away, back-to-back away games against two big teams. Tough, but at least there's a nice, easy. It's away though, so it could be tricky. Union Saint-Gilloise in Champions League, and then Fiorentina at home, who hopefully are still shit by then. Jitin, if you just hold on for like 30 seconds, I'm going to end the stream. If you just refresh a few times and then just comment on the video afterwards, then at least I can comment. I can add the comment to your comment, and then other people can also see it. Because if I put it in this live stream, then other people can't click on the link afterwards. So I'll put that in if you remember, Jitin, to do that. Oh, and wow, thank you, Elman Mansimov. Bate, I'm assuming from your surname that you might be Bulgarian, but you are donating in dollars, so you are based in the US. But thank you very much, brother. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the videos and live streams, he says. But yeah, this is my pleasure. This is what I like to do. Whether I was jobless, which I was until last week, or if I'm not jobless, which I am not jobless anymore now, this is what I like to do and what I've been doing for many, many years now. Since like 2019, 2020, I've been doing this, whether it was via Sempre Inter or now on my own channel. Sorry, Azerbaijan. Okay. We've never had a Azeri player, have we? Who's the best Azerbaijan player now? Is the... No, he's not from Azerbaijan. He's Uzbekistan. I was thinking of the Man City guy, the Man City centre back. Yeah, not too familiar with Azerbaijani players. But yeah, thank you very much, Elman. Nice to meet you. Thank you for the donation, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Ciao ragazzi. Always, Forza Inter. 3 points, clean sheet, PIO'S Esposito goal. Perfect day. Ciao.